This old guy DIY video has to do with assembling an extreme power 19-inch sand filter. So this is the box it showed up in. If you may have seen my other videos where a friend has a sand filter for a 30-year-old kayak pool that had a crack in it. I've been trying to fix that thing throughout the summer without success, so I finally gave up. This thing was available on eBay for 200 bucks. So I bought it. These are the parts that showed up. You've got the valve in this box. Got a bunch of little dispersing things basically. I suspect they go in here. But I'm actually going to start by reading the instructions. I'm going to put this thing together. Now I'm starting by taking these little dispersing pieces. And you can see that it has a tab on there and a tab on the other side. So basically, you just stick it in there and you rotate the thing 90 degrees and it locks in place. It holds on real easily. So I had installed all of these little lateral deals. And then I went to stick it in the top of this barrel. I said to myself, that's not going to work. So I removed all but two. Now I'll stick it in there with two in. I'll just have to reach in and install the other ones while it's inside the tub. And from an alignment standpoint, they made it pretty easy, because there's a little tab right there that you can see. And that tab lines up with the tab on that plastic piece. So you just line those two up, you push this little chunk in, and just turn it 90 degrees to the right, and it's locked in. Now all 8 of the laterals are down there, you can see them. And they provide this thing, which I thought was just a packaging aid, but actually it sits right over the top. So when you're mounting this, you can keep that unit centered as you're dumping your sand in. So that's good to know. So the plan is not very complicated here. Taking the BFW, my big friendly wrench, and I'll take this fitting off. I'll loosen up the clamp here, and I'll remove this fitting. And this thing for the discharge has to come off after this collar is off and the head gets raised a little bit. But anyway, I'll disassemble everything here. Then I'm just going to bring a black garbage can, lay it right on top of this, flip the whole thing over, dump the sand from this one into the garbage can, and then scoop it out with a little scooper into the new filter, and hopefully I'll be going again in 30 minutes. I just grabbed the edge of this sand filter, picked it off the platform, brought a garbage can over here. Now I'll just set the garbage can on top, flip the whole works over, and dump the sand out. Well, I have it in position just to flip it over. 4/28/14. Apparently Lisa set this one up to last 7 years. Well, my plan was flawed, because this little guy fits into this thing just like a cork going into a wine bottle. So once it was in there, I couldn't do anything with it. So the new plan is to dump it on this sled, and then I'll use a pitcher over there to put it into this thing. We'll get there. And I was going to set the new unit on this old base, but if you look at them, you can see the new base is larger. So I'm going to take my little Milwaukee grinder here and cut this plastic back so I can just set this thing up right next to it. Time to do some zipping. Now with that cut off, I'll just slide the other one in place. That looks pretty good right there. So now I'll start bringing the sand in. As we look at my area, my work area, you can see that I spilled sand on the ground. I've got some sand on the sled. I have some sand in my first option. So I brought the little shop vac over. We're going to suck up some sand. A little sand sucker worked better than I expected. There's my sand. Let's throw it back in the vessel. Well, we're getting close to the end, but this one has the ports reversed. On the other one, the return to the pool was here and the discharge was over there. But since it's reversed, I need to run to town and get one straight fitting here. All I had was a 90, and I don't have a fitting that can make that go. So I'll make the town run, get the fitting, turn it on. This turned out to be kind of a Gilligan's Island deal, where they left on a few-hour tour. I thought this would take an hour. I did have to make one run to town. I did not have this fitting. When I first assembled it, this line was leaking. The thing is pretty old. I put the second hose clamp on there and cranked them down, and now it's nice and clean and no leakage. So we're in action. It's showing about 10 psi. The lady who owns this place seems satisfied. And we're going to call it success. So thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you. Have a nice day.